Thank you, Matt. It's a great opportunity to speak with everybody today. Obviously, following John there, thank you for that. So a little bit about myself and why I'm standing for Labour's NEC. So I'm Nadia Jama and I'm standing to be a voice of the members. I grew up immersed in the values of solidarity and community that should be at the heart of our movement. My granddad was a Liverpool docker and my dad was a Somali steelworker. I spent my childhood living on a council estate, accessing free school meals, growing up through a period where Thatcher's government was determined to smash our class. That was always going to shape my socialist politics, speaking out for working class people and ensuring our voices are heard. That's why I joined the Labour Party to support Jeremy Corbyn, as well as fighting hard for our 2017 and 2019 manifestos. It's our task now to defend those policies and develop them. As the public health, economic and environmental crises bite, these people-powered politics are more important than ever. We're in the midst of a recession with millions of workers at risk of unemployment when the furlough scheme ends in October. The last 10 years of austerity have left us badly prepared as a country, and the pandemic highlighted the inequalities and racism that have been allowed to fester. The Black Lives Matter movement has also shown the disproportionate effect this has had on our Black communities globally. Labour must engage with groups like this. It can't just be about performative gestures. As a party, we need to be more vocal about the anti-refugee and anti-asylum seeker rhetoric that's been pushed by the right-wing media and fringe groups. We also need to see more support for our international brothers and sisters in Kashmir, Palestine and Myanmar in their quest for self-determination. We need to strengthen our trade union rights and invest in an economy to produce good, well-paid unionised jobs. That means demanding public ownership of key utilities and a socialist Green New Deal to create sustainable energy and infrastructure. I want a Labour Party that gives people power over their lives and their communities and that strengthens the voice of our members. We're at a critical point, and I know that so many Labour members are disillusioned after the defeat of the general election and then in the leadership campaign. But this demands that we unite and fight to implement the socialist values we share as activists on the left. Our members are our greatest asset. We are the trade unionists organising our workplaces, the campaigners organising our communities, and the party activists knocking on doors and talking to the people in our neighbourhoods. On the economy, public services, immigration policy, foreign policy and the climate emergency, Labour members have been proven right repeatedly. And no wonder we're the most connected to our communities. That's why we should be given more of a say over policy, over campaigning and the direction of the party. Key decisions must always be at our sovereign decision-making body, conference. As a party, we can't go back to trial by social media. We must ensure there is fairness, transparency and natural justice in our complaints and disciplinary processes. I'm also standing to be the Black Members Officer on the LRC Exec, unopposed. The Black community and members within our Labour movement are feeling demoralised. We've seen the impact of COVID hitting as hard as frontline workers. Labour members have been leaving the party following the perceived lack of support following the leaked report, as well as the backtracking on Kashmir and the silence around Yemen and Gaza. As a Black woman, I have to say the global recognition of Black Lives Matter really opened up the trauma of racism, and we're in the midst of a far-right rhetoric that I've ever seen in my lifetime, with fascists proudly displaying their flags on the streets of London and the media ignoring how dangerous that really is for us all. Social media was littered with racist commentary following the death of Abdel Fattah Hamdullah, who was found drowned on a French beach after being denied a safe legal route to the UK. There was little compassion for a life cut tragically short, and then the heartbreaking event of Mercy Baguna and her son. Words cannot express how deeply shameful it is that we have a government so brutal and inhumane that a mother died at the side of her child, a baby who was found crying and suffering from starvation. She lived in such extreme poverty here on our shores, unable to access the means to support herself and her child because of a racist system that denies migrants the right to work or recourse to public funds. When a Tory minister, unable to even show compassion when given the chance multiple times. So we must give members a space to support each other and enable us to focus on the things that have been affecting our communities and how we can influence change. So I'll be arranging a number of events, so please do watch out for those too. Thank you and solidarity.